Some victories do not come with trumpets, but with silence. Some heroes do not fit the mold of strength, but carry an unexpected gift hidden in plain sight. In the days when Israel had no king, when God raised deliverers from the dust, there came a man whose name most sermons never mention. A man whose weapon was not just a blade, but his difference. Pause, lower tone. His name was Ehud, and he was left-handed. Left-handedness was not common. In fact, in the Hebrew culture, the right hand was the symbol of power, skill, and blessing. The left was considered weaker, even undesirable. But God delights in using what the world costless then to bring about his greatest victories. And in the days when King Eglon of Moab, a cruel and oppressive ruler, sat heavy on Israel's neck, Ehud's left hand became a weapon of divine strategy. Voice deepens, music intensifies. What you're about to hear is one of the most unexpected, shocking, and yes, even violent deliverances in the Bible. A story hidden in Judges chapter 3, verses 12 to 30, of how God can use the unexpected to strike down the unstoppable. What happened and how it happened. 3 minutes. The Bible says in Judges 3:12, "Again the Israelites did evil in the eyes of the Lord, and because they did this, the Lord gave Eglon king of Moab power over Israel. For 18 long years, Moab oppressed Israel, but God raised up a deliverer, Ehud, the son of Gera, a Benjamite, left-handed." This detail, left-handed, is not accidental. It is the key to the mission. Ehud made himself a double-edged sword, about a cubit long, roughly the length of a man's forearm, and he strapped it, not to his left thigh like a right-handed warrior would, but to his right thigh, hidden, unexpected, unsearched. The time came to deliver the tribute, the tax payment to King Eglon. The Bible says Eglon was a very fat man. Ehud delivered the tribute and sent the men who carried it back home. But then Ehud turned back from the stone idols near Gilgal and said to the king, "I have a secret message for you." Eglon, intrigued, ordered everyone out of the room. Now it was just the king and Ehud. Ehud stepped forward saying, "I have a message from God for you." And as the king rose from his seat, Ehud reached with his left hand, drew the sword from his right thigh, and plunged it into the king's belly. The fat closed over the blade, even over the handle, and the sword disappeared inside him. Ehud did not pull it out, and the waist came out. Ehud quietly closed and locked the doors behind him and slipped away. The king's attendants, thinking he was relieving himself, waited and waited until it was too late. By the time they entered, their king was dead, and Ehud was long gone. Ehud escaped to the hill country, blew the trumpet in the land of Ephraim, and led Israel into battle. That day, they struck down about 10,000 Moabites, all strong and able-bodied men, and not one escaped. And the land had peace for 80 years. Lessons. 1. God uses the unexpected. Ehud's left-handedness was not a weakness. It was his divine advantage. What others overlook in you may be the very thing God intends to use for his glory. 2. Preparation meets opportunity. Ehud didn't just show up, he made a sword, planned his approach, and knew the moment to act. Faith does not mean lack of preparation. It means preparing in obedience to God's call. 3. Deliverance requires courage. Ehud walked alone into the presence of a powerful enemy, knowing that one mistake would cost him his life. True deliverance often requires stepping into uncomfortable, even dangerous, places with the confidence that God is with you. 4. God can flip the script. In a culture that prized the right hand, God chose a left-handed man to bring freedom. The very thing the enemy is not watching for may be the thing that brings his downfall. 5. Your victory can bring lasting peace. Ehud's obedience led to 80 years of peace for Israel. When you act in God's timing and strategy, the impact can outlast you and bless generations to come. So the next time you feel overlooked, underestimated, or different, remember Ehud. Remember that in God's hands, the unexpected becomes unstoppable. What is in your hand, or your left hand, that God could use to deliver someone today? Judges 3:12-30, a story the world rarely tells, but heaven never forgets.